We are live. We're direct. This is the Raow Raow episode number 2 with Smurf, aka Arcade, and Omega.
What's up, everybody?
So I'm just gonna bring something up real quick.
Uh-huh.
I asked Omega what he do this week, and he said he doesn't remember.
Yeah.
So we're just gonna dive deep into why he doesn't remember. Why don't you remember what you did this week?
I don't know if it's like a subconscious thing but the idea of asking, I'm not a small talker, right? So I've known this about myself enough to know that because I've been told that I could be an ass, or I could be standoffish, name them. So that's because I have a hard time having small talk. Part of the small talk is the question, "Hey, what'd you do this weekend?" Or "What do you do for work?" Like that, that kind of shit.
But that could spark off a bigger conversation.
It could, but I don't get to that point because it just becomes okay. So going back to your original question, I don't remember because I was thinking it might be subconscious that like I don't remember on purpose, or I say that I don't remember on purpose, but sometimes I really just don't remember. And it's more often than not that I just don't remember. If you ask me, "Hey, what'd you do throughout
Is
the
it
week?"
because you don't want to think about it?
I haven't thought about that at all. Like why I don't remember. But I don't remember. I don't. It could be that. Could be that I'll just keep it moving, I don't know.
When people ask me what I did, I don't do small talk either.
Uh-huh.
And sometimes I just brush it off because I don't want to think. Because I'm always moving forward.
Mm-hmm.
So to have to rethink something, I don't even want to put the energy into rethinking something when I don't need to. So then I just don't want to think.
So is it a busy people thing that you don't remember? So the more busy you are, the less you remember?
The less you don't want to be, the less you want to remember.
How about the fact that the busier you are, the more intentional you are about the things that you do remember? So if you ask me, did you work on any music Tuesday at fucking 6 before I went in? Some shit like that.
Try this out.
All right, thank you, sir.
Because I find it for myself. And sometimes I give my girl attitude over this and I need to work on it.
Mm.
I'll get somebody will ask me a question, but the question they're asking me is not the question they want to know.
Mm-hmm.
And I find that people do that all the time. And that could be one of those questions. So I'm going to give you an example. My lady, I'm not even going to use my lady. One of my friends hit me up recently and started asking me, "Yo, what are you up to? What are you doing?" And my response was, "Why?"
We all know where Smurf is going. I know where you're going from.
And then they're like, "Okay, well, what are you doing? What are you doing afterwards?" And I'm like, "Well, why?"
Right.
So I'm just trying to get down to the
what do you actually need, fool? What do you
Yes.
actually need?
Like,
if you need a ride, hit me up. Let me know that that's what you need
directly.
Yeah, I know exactly what you mean.
And
that shit is annoying. It is annoying. Okay, again, your response from a person who's busy, I would say. If you're busy, fool, it's like, okay, let's get down to it. It's not personal. It's a yes or a no, and it's not personal because we're going to keep it moving.
But sometimes I'm too lazy to want to think. So sometimes if somebody asked me, "So what you do last Saturday?" In my mind, if nothing significant happened, it was just the regular day. I don't even want to put the energy into thinking that.
Mm-hmm.
Is that weird?
Well, yeah, because it's not weird, but it's a certain level of expectation that you can't hold on to people. Like you can't hold that against people because they don't know. People don't know how good or bad or exciting or boring your day or week was,
Right.
So sometimes they're genuinely asking. You feel me? So I understand that part.
Mm.
The part that I don't understand is the reason why you're asking if I'm a stranger.
If
So,
you're a stranger,
mhm.
so it's different.
Yeah, I'm talking about small talk with like, strangers.
I don't do small talk with strangers.
That's what I mean.
I cut that off really quick.
If the homie's asking me what I do this weekend, I'm gonna ask the question you asked, which is why fool, what's up? Oh
Even
no,
to
I
a
just
stranger, I'll say why. I'll be like, why? What's up? Like, excuse me, sir, did you park there? Why? Even though they saw me parking there, and the answer is yes, and I could just been like, yes. Do you just not see me park there? Why are you asking me that? So it's almost
Right.
like the question is irrelevant. You're asking me a question is like you're almost killing time or space. Some questions almost don't need to be put out there, right?
well, yeah. I continue to say fool for like what reason? For what's the purpose behind it? So okay, go. Let's go back to your homeboy, your homeboy, right? Who said, "What are you doing? Like, what are you doing? And then what are you doing after the third one?" Um, that's like your friend. Your friend is missing a certain level of trust. One. Number two, or number two, um, there's a certain level of insecurity on his end that wouldn't allow him to ask you directly what he really needs. Or three, he knows what he's gonna ask you is shady, or it's not fair, or it's gonna be too much, and he's trying to fucking weigh you out before they even ask you first. You know? So
Okay, I see. I see.
it's one of the three. So here's the problem that I have with that when it's your friends. They're your friends. So your friends shouldn't need to weigh you out. Your friends shouldn't feel insecure about talking to you. You know what I mean? All that.
I'm gonna save one of these.
Yeah.
Right. Well,
Yeah, you're right.
Yeah.
And either
Yeah. I don't get to with small talk when you say small talk in public. Like if a girl at the store, like it happens where somebody is like, so how's your day today? I'm like, pretty good, thanks.
Mhm.
Like, oh yeah, what you have for lunch? It's like the fuck, like just
Right.
catch me out.
Right.
I feel like that. I feel
Well, think about like at an event, at some event, and they're strangers, or
like
like
that's different.
or like a dinner. Like that's what I'm talking
That's
about.
dinner. That's
like
intimate.
like a dinner with like like you go to your friend's house party for like some shit. You know what I mean? Like that kind of shit.
That's intimate though.
Um,
The groceries. If I'm at the groceries, if I'm trying to cash out at the gas station, I'm just trying to go in there
No.
and pay for my shit.
Okay, that one is like that one I don't care. That one is kind of fun, I would say. Like out there like that, out in the world like that, out in the wild. Like that's kind of fun. But
Especially if they give me tweaker vibes. If they're like tweaker vibes and they're on something and they're just like talk to them like, yo, bro, I don't got time for this shit. Like, just cash me out. Like,
right.
and my girl loves to get into conversations with people in public. Like,
Mhm.
when we're out, it's like if somebody, I get annoyed quick,
Mhm.
but she has patience. She's not,
But
you
with
know,
strangers, you mean?
yeah.
Oh shit.
So if we're out and somebody's at the cash register and he goes, so what made you paint your car color red?
Uh-huh.
I'd be like, bro, don't be asking me shit like that. My girl be like, oh well, she'll get into a conversation about it. Like she'll have that patience to not be rude.
Why are you being rude, fool?
It's not being rude. It's just that I don't got time for this shit.
But wait,
sometimes
but you're also not giving that person a chance though either. Like to
of what? A chance?
Okay, here's
for what? A chance of what? For
here's
what?
The interaction, the human interaction that's gonna happen right there. This motherfucker, whoever that person was, is asking you about the car being red, because they must be thinking about something. They must be thinking about something. That's how I would approach that from the perspective
they might
from the perspective that like this little entryway into this potential galaxy of a person cashier just gave me an entryway into like their world. Because then I would go like,
But what if I
I'm
don't have
curious.
time for that world? Because I do believe that everybody's a journey.
Okay, if
You
you
know,
don't have time, go ahead, sorry.
I just think that everybody's a journey.
Mhm.
And
Yeah.
like when I was a kid, my teacher used to be like, "Oh, your friends, their friendships, it's like a ship, and everybody has different journeys and waves, and everybody." That's how she just. And ever since I was a kid, that stuck to me. Where like everybody's a whole different experience, and I could have one with anybody. Realistically, I could pick any stranger and just be like, if I spend an hour with him, we're gonna like each other and we're gonna know about each other. But what if the moment, like maybe most of the times I do run out of patience and I'm working on it.
Uh-huh.
But I almost feel like I have a lot of friends that I don't spend time with, and I don't have the time to. I rather just go back to my old friends and try to give them more time if I have the extra time to enter somebody's realm. So I rather not allow that. Not really that I'm thinking that way,
Mhm.
but to just think of expanding my circles of friendship is always there, but there's a lot of people that I neglect, and I feel
Well,
bad.
it means more that you just want to be intentional, dog, with your time. Like, okay. I mean, how deep do we want to get into this one? Because now we're getting into some, generational shit. So I will say this: the the expectation that you have of the interaction being a negative response is understood because of, again, our upbringing, because of defense, because of not having time when we're kids to do what we really want to do. Now that we do have the opportunity to do that, we want to do exactly that. And that means I get to talk to whoever I want to talk to or choose whoever I want to talk to. You get me? Like, we never had that type of power, is the wrong word, but let's say leverage, you know, of our own like livelihood. So you could be in a situation where like I ain't got time for this shit because how we grew up. It could be like, you know, some of us don't got time to spare. I've lost time because of shit that got taken away. Whatever the fuck you want to think about. Fools that could go to prison, they come out, they're like that. Like, I ain't got fucking time to waste, fool. I gotta fucking keep it moving.
Yeah,
So you think about it from that perspective, like maybe not locked up in prison, but locked up in a certain psychological type of prison. With poverty, with our upbringing. That's what that does, fool. It
yeah.
fucking imprisons us. So then,
Time imprisons us.
yeah.
Imprisons us.
What
But
do you mean?
I don't really think like that though when I'm out at the gas. There's somebody like cool people I meet all the time.
Yeah.
Sometimes I do find myself annoyed if I feel like I'm wasting my time.
Mm-hmm.
And I don't know if that's good or bad, but sometimes I see it and I'm just like, damn.
I don't think if it's that's what I'm saying. It don't matter if it's good or bad. It's not really about good or bad. It's just what it is, and that's just because of where it's what you want. What do you want it to be? Do you want your interactions with those people? Do you want them to not? Do you want to not have them at all? Do you want to have them and be like, quote unquote, good? Or do you want to have them and talk some shit to them? You know what I'm saying? Like, what are the choices you want, and then you pick what the fuck you want.
Yeah.
Because I'm on some like when I'm out shopping, fool, I'm minding my own business. But if I put my head up, like literally, fool, I'm like a fucking like as if I was a rock star, except nobody knows who the fuck I am. But my behavior is like with the hoodie, I'm just fucking buying my shit. I got headphones on, that like no one's around me, fool, unless when I choose to pick up my head, I'm gonna be the one that's be like, hey, come on, the señor, da da da. You know what I'm saying? Like just fucking chopping it up because my choice was, let me explore the world a little bit. Okay, that's cool. Go back to my shit. So I'm choosing how I fucking interact with the world. But if we go all the way back to our fucking initial point about homies asking some dumb shit, like some irrelevant shit, that's the part that I get frustrated on. It's like you should have enough trust in me, fool, to ask me exactly what the fuck you want to ask me. Like, what the fuck do you need? Hey, fool, can I borrow $20? All right, fool, fuck. Don't ask me like if I eaten today, like don't ask me if I had
Yeah.
pizza. What the fuck, fool? Like just
Like, yo, what you doing? Can I come over? What?
he didn't even want to hang out either. He just
No,
wanted 20
yeah.
bucks.
Like, yo, I paid and I waste my time.
Exactly, fool. You know what, fool? Don't even pay me back, fool. Here's $20. Go get Little Caesars, fool, and you have $15 left. Oh no, $13.50 with tax.
Is that the new Little Caesars price?
$5, right?
Yo, they raised it. I heard they raised
What?
Little Caesars prices.
Why? Because
Yeah,
of
it's
water?
not $5 no more.
What?
Well, I mean, they got to deliver all that shit, and
Mhm.
you know, gas got expensive this year. So if they got to deliver tomatoes and shit like that,
I never even noticed that they went up. I know that you know how they have the biggest bestest or whatever. Then that one is, it's like $1 extra for all that cheese. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, yeah.
It's almost like dumb if you don't get it.
yeah.
Plus, the trick is if you order those, they don't have them ready to go, so they have to make it fresh.
That's even better.
Mm-hmm.
I like Little Caesars pizza, so
Mhm.
it's one of my favorite pizzas. Actually, I love their sauce.
Our show is not sponsored by
It
by
could
Little
be though.
Caesars.
Little Caesars, holla.
Well, we got to talk about your ethics, your ethic. What is your worker relationship, Little Caesars?
Well, I mean, if you do you eat Little Caesars?
I do.
Oh, then you're already supporting the cause.
It doesn't matter. I know that argument, dog. It's like we all walking up. Look, we all walking a pile of shit. All right. An elder once told me this. Fool, all right. This is against the argument that you just made. The argument you just made is the one that goes, "Oh, fool, why you talking shit if you're wearing Nike? Oh, fool, like why you talking shit? You drive a car? All right, then we'll stop talking shit."
It's not the same.
It's similar though.
No,
It's a little similar, but not. Okay, this is the argument against yours and all of those, and this is by an elder. Okay, Jules right here. He said, the context how this conversation started, fool. That's a whole show. All right, that's a whole fucking limited series and shit on Netflix. But how we got to the point of hearing these words from this person is dope. This is what he said. He said, "All right, look, I get it. So, do you fly?" He told one person that was like calling people out for shit, you know. He asked him, "Do you fly?" And he goes, "No." And then he says, "But you do. You're saying that, you know, this is all shit. Like this is all full of shit. Like this is all fucking nonsense." And he said, "Yeah." And he said, "But you don't fly." He said, "Yeah, I don't fly." He said, "Okay. Are you trying to stay in this shit or are you trying to get out of it?" And he's like, "Well, I'm trying to get out of it." He's like, "Okay, well, how are you gonna do that without getting full of shit if you don't fly? And you agree that this is all full of shit." All right, well, there's the lesson. But in reality, the second lesson is, in addition to that, is that, well, the actual lesson is that, fool, don't worry about how clean the process is. The idea is that you see the bullshit, and you're trying to move away from it.
Yeah.
Or you're trying to clean it up. You get me? It's not about how dirty we're gonna get. So it doesn't matter really
if you eat it,
whether you drive or you eat it or you fucking. It matters that you understand that that's what's happening. And
right.
The more you consume it, the more you're gonna get full of it.
Okay, so let's say Little Caesars.
Yes.
All right. So you ask them for their ethics, because obviously they're in the system, so their ethics are bad.
Not necessarily.
You know, I think that if you, well, I mean, obviously it's a conversation of like corporations and shit and using resources. You know,
we need, which we need, we can have that too.
But like, let's just say that Little Caesars goes, all right, here's 10,000 a month, guys. We want the logo on the top corner. And it'd be like, yes, we're in the shit, but will we not take those 10,000 and help us get out of it quicker than not having it?
No, because the money exchange is that's not how you get out of it.
No, but it's a tool.
Okay.
Well, I mean, how do you get out of it though?
Think about
out of what though?
Well, think about the tool. Yeah, think about what are we getting out of? Well, the shit. Well, I mean, let's say the corruption. Let's say the the lack of like integrity and moral values with like companies and corporations, how they treat the workers, for example.
Okay, so
The sustainability, like their what's their response to the environment, um how are they competing in the market, you know, are they sharks where they trying to take out all the little fucking, like a Walmart, you know, where they're trying to take out all the little businesses and shit and be like the fucking giant that
do
it
you
is.
feel like that about Little Caesars?
No. So then you think about what your value system is, right? So
Right.
let's say for me, let's say in this example is about the workers,
Mhm.
because they hire like young, you know, young kids and shit, like teenagers.
Who, Little Caesars?
Yeah.
Okay.
Like teenagers and like young adults. So like, what is their treatment towards these kids? Like as far as opportunity, are they getting paid like well? What's their training like? Versus are they on some straight up fucking slave labor type of shit? And just
So we
because
would
they're
like,
young,
so let's just say, for example, Little Caesars, all right, yo, Omega, 10K. So like, are you gonna be like, all right, chill, I'm gonna do my research?
Yeah.
All right, so how would you do that research?
so I work with organizations that would help me find out if there's like campaigns against, you know, Little Caesars, for example, against some shit that they did, stuff like that.
Okay.
So like you kind of like, again, you know, what if, okay, so then let's say like this. What if Little Caesars goes, no, we all have these amazing trainings and do, right? But they all happen to be white kids and no kids of color. What's the value system? So somebody can come in and say like, well, shit, I don't care if they get like amazing training. I care that kids of color have those opportunities. So then another group of people are going to be focused on that. Like that's the whole, or me, I'm like, not fuck Little Caesars until they get everything correct, you know?
Oh yeah.
And what is everything? Fucking, to me is this, to other people is more, to other people is less.
Yeah.
So at that point, you can't really get into like contradictions. You just have to be convinced about the work that you're doing, so long as it does connect to like this larger picture of like justice, you know, with like dignity and shit. That to me is the important part, like the
Right.
definition of that, and how you're connecting with that, with the work that you're doing, is the best thing, because then that way we know the whatever work you're doing is fucking whatever it is you got to do, whether it's connecting with Little Caesars for a little bit for the long term objective. That's
What
that.
if you did find out about that? Would you still eat it?
Find out about what?
Anything. Like, let's say they did have they were keeping colored people out.
Mhm.
Would you stop eating it?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, just it's because it's easy. Like,
Yeah.
it's, oh fuck, I'll just go to another fucking Pizza Hut. Oh, that got issues too. All right, well then Domino's.
Yeah.
So they themselves are fucking, like, corporations fuck themselves over in that way, you know, where it's like you give us so many choices, food, that you make it easy for us to not be loyal to you. So they don't give a fuck, because it's like, you're not loyal to me, you move on to the next. Well, guess what?
Yeah, that's all of them.
The next
That's all
one
of
moved
them.
on to me, and they don't give a fuck about what you said. So that's how it is. It's a dog eat dog world. So like, that's why capitalism, when like the way I understand it and the way that like I talk to people about it, is that it's just gonna eat itself up, because essentially that's what capitalism is, right? It's the abundance, the idea of abundance. Okay, well then at some point there's no more resource that you would, yeah, at some point. Phones right now, cell phones and all this shit, though, like, you know what I'm saying, like, and what's happening in Africa because of the, I forget the mineral or the that's needed for it, you know. So it's like, okay, so most people should be on some, like, everyone who's about, you know, social justice and activism should be on like, okay, no more cell phones, everybody stop with your iPhone. That's impossible at this point.
Yeah, that's
know?
impossible.
It's possible.
It's
in the
possible,
future.
but not. It's impossible.
Right. Everything is possible for sure.
But that's the thing. It's only impossible because we live here.
Mhm.
In it.
Right.
You know, it's like we have the choice to that. We could just go live isolated or away from everybody on tropical land that has resources, natural resource.
Right.
You know, because that, like, as long as we're dependent on outside forces to bring us our food and our shelter, then we're always going to be stuck in a system.
Right.
You know.
Yeah. Well, this is where you get into like the spirituality aspect of like, okay, like the Zapatistas, they have this idea of like, they have visions like of the future, right? Where that's inclusive. But most political work that you do doesn't really have that type of vision. It has a vision for itself. Like if there's a campaign against fucking whatever, you know what I mean? Or to kick somebody out. Once you kick that person out, essentially your shit's over. You know what I mean? Like your purpose is over. But when you have like a long-term vision, it's almost like too dreamy. It's not realistic for activists. You know what I'm saying? Activists are like they need action and you need like like tangible shit right now. So then the idea of like, oh, better tomorrow, or like, oh man, when we all together, it's like, yeah. But
Yeah.
let's, the Zapatistas had a balance of both. The reason why is because they connect to the spiritual part. This is what I wanted to say with what you said. This idea of like not living here but living somewhere else is the spiritual component of that food means like we no longer live here, but we live within. Like we live, so we don't go anywhere, but instead we live differently. We don't live here anymore. Here, as in that type of system, behavior, the moral values, what is good, what is bad, all that shit. We really fucking look at it and say like, nah, we don't want that shit no more. So then essentially we don't live in that place no more, you know? So then what that would do is like, think of a fucking in the movies where like everybody zombied the fuck out, and right on the verge of like fucking disaster, whatever, fucking Marvel superhero, whoever comes and saves the day, and like people snap out of their fucking this fucking whatever they were in, this trance that they were in, but they were about to fuck up the world. So it's not about those moving those zombies into a different place, but it's not making people zombies anymore, so that that place that you're in is safe, because we're the ones that are fucking it up. You know what I'm saying? So I'm like, no, we don't have to go anywhere else. We ourselves are the ones that have to live somewhere else, but just not physically. We have to exist in a different way.
Yeah.
And that's that hopeful, that's that dream shit that like honestly that's what the native way is to always think of the future, because like Mother Earth is good. If we leave, she's good. So who's the problem?
Well, we are.
Yeah.
But that's what I'm saying. Like we just, sometimes I almost feel like there's this like there's no fixing this.
Yeah. You're fucking you're on some like fucking on some like I forget the fucking word, but like almost like cynicism, fool. It's like sometimes I am cynical about the world too, because the shit is
But
so
it's not
fucked up.
it's not
like,
in a bad way though.
it's just real.
It's just like, because we see people become like drug addicts or like things happen to people where you're just looking at them and you're like, fuck,
Right.
like there's nothing I can do.
Mm-hmm.
Now there's nothing you can do, because
Yeah.
And it's almost like what then, and it's almost like, well, there's still a lesson there, and it's like,
Right.
this is how you learn what not to become.
Mm-hmm.
And sometimes I feel like, I feel like my job here is to protect my heart from the world. Like there's so much evil in this realm, so then I just can't fall into it.
Mm.
And
it's almost like your heart is gonna exist in a different life, and your vessel.
I'm just trying to protect it.
You're trying to protect
while
it.
I'm here.
Yeah.
So I'm just trying to like, because I grew up like, always getting arrested for like protesting and shit, and I was always just trying to do shit.
Yeah.
In LA, just with like just like activism shit, and we just helped out so many people, and there's some people that are just mentally not there, man. Like, and there's nothing,
and it's a cycle.
It's sad, yo.
Yeah.
So it's almost like, and it really made me feel like this realm is meant to be destructive.
Mm.
And our job here is just to go throughout our journey here without letting it affect us. And I think that's the most difficult thing to do.
Wow.
So it's like, if I'm able to protect myself and shine that light, that's going to inspire the next person to do the same, and that's how I could help somebody.
Say that
by
again.
Being the example.
Say it again.
It's like if I become the light, then I'll inspire somebody, or I'll attract other people that are the same way. So then I just gotta be innocent, fun, and not allow the world to consume me.
Right.
Because it's really easy for me to get consumed. Like I don't watch the news.
Right.
Stuff like that.
Okay. So that brings you back it brings you back to the point of intention, and it brings you back to that point of purposeful of and hope, because you're operating from a place of hope. The world is shitty, but I'm operating from a place of innocence, place of fun, hoping to inspire.
Oh, but you can't. I do understand that we can't just let it go. We have to put in some effort
Right.
to better the realm.
But you just said your entire existence is about that, which is dope.
I've always wanted to,
Mm-hmm.
and I tried. I was always trying to help kids out and shit. I always trying to do like, just stuff. But
I think it's okay, fool. So I guess what I'm trying to get at is that you're still doing the work. It just looks different. That's it.
Yeah.
We might get.
I still help people out though.
Yeah,
I
that's
still
what
help
I'm
people
saying.
out.
Because it's inevitable. Because that's who you are. That is your heart that you're trying to protect. So it's like, if you didn't help anybody, you probably wouldn't be making art. If you didn't help people, if you didn't feel like it, even just the idea of making fool, even the idea of existing as an artist for you, if you didn't feel like it was benefiting others other than yourself, I could see you, because of your heart, saying, I don't want to make art anymore. So like, you operate from a place of love, and meaning that it's a place of hope. So yes, the world is shitty right now, but you're hoping for a better tomorrow by way of another generation.
The world is shitty is a wrong term.
Oh, okay, my bad.
Yeah,
so what would you use?
Because I don't see the world as a shitty place.
Okay.
I do understand it's good and bad.
Uh-huh.
I do understand that.
Right.
Because this world is a beautiful place. People are beautiful. Animals are beautiful.
Welcome to the podcast. This is Yana. Welcome to the podcast, mamas. Huh? Yeah. You want to be a part of it or what, huh? Hell yeah. She just said we're all full of shit at the end of the day. It's all about fun and play.
It's all about fun and play, y'all. Please like and subscribe.
She just grabbed the freaking.
We could probably cut it off. It's been 30.
Oh man, yeah. Yeah, this could go on forever.
It could. But just to wrap it up, I don't mean the world is a shitty place.
Oh yeah.
I love this. I love this realm. I love this place. Like, it's like I'm experiencing it.
Mm-hmm.
I think it's beautiful, and I try to take advantage of it. But I obviously we exist in the spirit world, and then we exist in this physical. Like I gotta work and get shit done, and because I wish I could just, like the older I get, I feel like I want my work to outlive me. So then I can't spend an hour not doing something to further that vision or my like what I want to leave.
Yeah.
And that's just really what I'm consumed by right now. I feel like I used to live in 24 hours, but now I just want to live like 72 hours into 24 hours. Like I don't even want to waste 5 minutes.
And why is that? Well, what's going on with this idea of not wasting time?
It's been a big thing. I've been saying it more out loud. It's not wasting time. It's just that, you know what it is? I feel like everything I want to do, I can't do. No matter how much I work, I can't do what I want to do. So then it's always that trying to chase, because there's so much shit I want to do, but there's not enough time in a day.
Okay.
So now I'm just like, fuck. Now I'm fighting against time to try to build what I want to build. But it's just...
Which is, can I ask you what it is?
My full expression that will satisfy me.
What was that? Let's make sure the microphone didn't shut off. Is it still recording it? Yeah, right. Yo, yo, yo. Hello, hello, hello.
Yeah.
Hello, hello.
Yeah.
So does this thing even need to be on?
I'm not on the camera, but it doesn't matter. Oh, it does.
Oh, it's just yo. Imagine this shit wasn't even recording.
Yo.
Yo.
Oh, we'll go check it.
Yeah, let's check it. Maybe it is a good time to stop. Oh no. Here, go ahead, phone, because Yeah, and broadcast.
Oh, I know how we can check it here. We're live right now. So
Uh-huh.
where's my phone at? It's Raow Raow. Oh shit, we're live.
Nice.
You know, because I wish I could just,
Oh yeah, we're
nice.
we're good.
what, you know, like there's,
Oh, we should wrap it up then.
Yeah.
you know, because I wish I could just.
I can't listen to my own voice. I can't do it. I can't do it. I can't listen to my own voice, guys.
Look at that fucking dog. Bro. She's gonna. She's stuck. She's looking this way, like, hey, where you at, fool? You got scared, huh? You got scared. You got scared. You got scared almost. Hey, easy. Yeah, no. Easy, almost. Easy.
Everybody watching, like, subscribe. Should we cut it off?
What happened?
Peace.
You got stuck, mama. You got stuck. You almost fell in the rocks.